And bam, to the bam bam, we are live. How's it going,
Hello.
Sonia?
How's it going?
Good. I guess it's been. We always have such good intentions. Like we always want to do these podcasts like every week, but it seems that you know what? Like it's been just so busy.
So I text John at least once a week. Hey, let's do a podcast this week. Let's do a podcast today. One time he's like, "Oh, I forgot."
Bro, I like how you put it right on me, just like that.
Yeah. I need people to understand what's going on.
No, don't mind me. You keep talking. I'm going to. Oh, I was going to try and minimize, but apparently it says it won't let me. I'm trying to see if I can put up the volume, but it's all good.
I can speak louder.
Yeah, you just got to speak a touch bit louder.
That's fine. But yeah, so I'm super happy that we're back doing the podcast. I feel like it's been a hot minute.
I know, like, it's just been so crazy because I mean, like, and I think everyone's like just sick and tired of COVID, but you know, in terms of for us, you know, in what we do, it's just been so busy the last few weeks because literally the rules and the situation has changed, you know, almost week by week, you know.
It feels like it changes every day. Like it feels like we have new restrictions every day, or not restrictions, like we have one less restriction every day, which is awesome.
Yeah, and especially with the you know, the announcement of the stage 3 last Friday type thing.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's been absolute chaos. You know, we got that announcement, and it's like, hey, how's this going to affect, you know, all the martial arts academies? And I think every martial arts academy was in this sort of the same situation where they're trying to figure out exactly how do the rules apply to our businesses. And is that your cat?
Oh, it's my dog.
I was like, I've never heard a cat make that kind of noise. So anyway, so like all the different martial arts places are kind of trying to figure out, you know, how does this affect us? You know, what does it mean for us? So everyone's running to the PSOs to say, you know, what does this mean? And the PSOs are running to the government, and you know, but you know, by Sunday night there was some kind of, you know, direction that was kind of passed on, and then bam, you know, we passed it on to the members, and then you know what? Today is what, Tuesday, and it's just been a whirlwind, you know, over the weekend and the last 2 days type thing.
Yeah, but it's all good stuff. Like none of this news was negative. It was all, you know, new ways for us to open up our classes to get more members in, and, you know, new ways to train, which is, it's all been positive. You know, it's not like we had to take things away. We get to add things in.
Yeah, and that's what we've been saying all along. Like we've been open over a month now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and I remember, you know, me and Sonia talk about this all the time, and it's one of my favorite stories for telling the members that come in. It's like, you know, on literally June 16th when we got the approval to open, you know, you and I are at the club and we are super jacked, and you know, the first class rolls around and it's like, you know, both of us are expecting like 50 people outside waiting to come in, and it was like, you know,
we were mush kaput.
Yeah, we were mush kaputs, you know, and there was nobody there, and I was like, where is everybody? I thought everybody was running back to martial arts.
Yeah, it's I think it's gonna be cool in like 10 years when I'm a little older and you're much older, to look back on these times and all the crazy stuff that happened. Like I think,
you know, what's sad is like, I don't even, in 10 years you're not even gonna be the age that I'm now. That's the sad part. Oh god.
It's fine, but I think, you know what, like in retrospect, like it was like COVID was crazy. Like it hit us really crazy.
Oh, it's still, I don't think the effects for us, and to be honest with you, probably any business owner, I don't think that everyone's truly through the effects of COVID.
Oh god, no.
In any way, shape, or form. You know, I mean, like, you know, society and the world, for lack of a better term, is kind of opening up, but there's still like a long way to go, and you know, there's still like a lot of trust that people have to build, the businesses have to build with their clients. And
understandably so, people are scared to be around people again, you know, and like the government's saying, yeah, you can do it, but people are still scared, and it makes sense, right? Like we went through like a pandemic, so of course people are not reluctant, but nervous.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. So, and you know what, we recognize that, and you know what, like even in talking to our members, you know, you and I were chatting, and we're like, man, a lot of people still prefer the bags and stuff like that. So, you know, good news, we've ordered more bags. So, you know, we're hoping that they'll be in probably by the end of the week if everything goes well. You know, so what that'll do is it'll increase our numbers that we can kind of add at both the South End and New Sudbury, to have just more spaces available for people to train on the bags, and you know, not have to worry about the contact with partners and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So that's good news. Next week, you know, you should see more spots open up on the app.
Yeah, and I think one of the fun things about this new level of, you know, stage 3 is that we can work together on a bag. So say you and I, John, want to be bubble buddies, we can work together on the bag.
Yeah, and you know what? And that's going to bring it very close to what people were doing before, because there was partners that liked sharing a bag, because
we had 3 people on a bag sometimes, like a mom and 2 kids. Like it was awesome. Like we had the partner bag stuff is a lot of fun. It's a new way to motivate each other and to keep like yourself and each other accountable. It's fun.
100%. Like if I'm doing a 4 or 5 punch combination, I do it as fast as I can, so you don't get the rest.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So like, and who doesn't love a little bit of competitive spirit?
That's right. So I mean, you know what, guys, we know that people like it, and you know what, we want to make sure, like, and that's something that, you know, we've been very passionate about, is like, you know, how can we bring people, A, the best martial arts, and B, the best type of workout, you know, despite some of these challenges. You know, like we don't sit here and be and guys, this is going to be a new term, the mush kaputs. We don't sit back and be like, oh, we can't do it. Oh, you know, I don't. No, we find a way to do it. We find a way to make sure everybody gets a great workout. Whether
We've been doing that since day one, though. We did that as soon as COVID hit.
Literally, we closed on March 16th, and on March 18th, we were in people's living rooms.
It was awesome.
A la Zoom.
Yeah,
Subri MMA comes to you. You know, so I mean, like, and we're just going to keep on doing that as we kind of progress through these different phases and work through all the restrictions and how it, you know, the changes affect the club and stuff like that. So, and you know what, tonight was good. Tonight was a great example. We had a couple of families that came in, and you know, they did some of the you know, social training with a little bit more contact type thing, because they're from the same household. And then we had more people than you would think. There was more people even on the bags, you know, so it's cool.
I had parents train with kids today in their kids' jiu-jitsu class. It was awesome.
Yes, for the parents that are listening, when your kids come to jiu-jitsu, we're not charging you. It's not, it has nothing to do with that. We just want your kids to have a good partner, and who's a better partner than parents to work with their kids?
Or a sibling.
That's right, man. So just bring them in, and you know what, they have a partner to train with, so that they don't have to necessarily work with a dummy, and you know, they can still feel the resistance of a partner a little bit with you know, either you or a sibling.
And we get to change things up. Like we've had a lot of success with the dummies in jiu-jitsu, especially for the kids jiu-jitsu. But partner drills is different, you know. It's more fun.
I think you brought up a good point. You know, you brought up a good point in talking with some of the parents with the dummies. Like, there's zero risk of any injury to their children. You know, like sometimes, you know, like in jiu-jitsu, like some people would be like, oh, that person went a little bit too hard, or you know, like they didn't realize it, or they were nervous about the closeness of the side control, for example. Well, with a dummy, that fear is gone. You know.
Yeah, exactly. And one thing I really like about the dummies is the weighted squats and the weighted lunges and stuff like that. It's a lot of fun.
Oh yeah. No, we were doing it in Yaddle class, the same thing. It was like, okay, guys, fireman carry, and now into the squats, and people are like, oh my god.
That was awesome. One more thing that I love about the dummies for the kids, we can do throws. We can do judo throws. We can do like some cool takedowns, and I don't have to worry about anybody like getting hurt.
100%. We were doing those sotogeris, and kids were loving it. You know, those dummies took a beating. Like, you know, those dummies are something we're going to use.
Like, the arms are still attached. Like.
Yeah, arm locks. People can learn how to do arm locks, and we don't have to worry about them like pulling too hard on a partner's arm. So there's a lot of positives that come out of working with the dummies that we sort of learned through this process. So, you know, the dummies aren't going anywhere. Like dummies, when we teach people, when we first start teaching kids arm locks, we're going to do it on a dummy.
Oh my God, yeah. I've taught arm locks on kids for the first time on these dummies, and it was fantastic because it was zero stress.
Yeah, no, 100%.
Like I was always stressed out about having to hit that level with the kids.
Yeah.
And
I actually didn't like it when kids got to that point, because I was like, man, how do I watch, you know, 10 or 15 kids trying to arm lock each other? Like, I'm so nervous
the
whole time. I'd ask, remember, I'd be like, Sonia, can you please watch these 2 groups? I'll watch these 2 groups. And it was like,
that's why you did that.
Yeah. So now it's like, hey, you can arm lock that dummy like crazy. Hey, tighten your knees. Really tighten the knees for so no, it's fantastic. So I mean, there's definitely been some positives on it.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think we can take the time to kind of address a couple of questions some people have had. The change rooms, they're still closed.
Yeah.
Okay. And this is what I tell people, like, you know, our numbers are a little bit different, obviously, in the South End and New Sudbury. New Sudbury obviously is a touch bit bigger. We've been there longer. but even then, like the change room in the south end, whether it's change rooms in the south end or change rooms in New Sudbury, we cannot confidently demonstrate, social distancing if I have in New Sudbury, 15 people in the class, and then they go into the change rooms to change. I don't feel comfortable trying to maintain and demonstrate the social distancing there. It's not like a good life with these massive change rooms where you can section off lockers and say like people have to be that far apart while they're changing. Like it's not the same. So that's why we've decided that for now the change rooms are closed. As time goes on, maybe we'll be able to work out something where we have the times finishing different, people can change differently, like I don't know, but right now we just want to take it one step at a time and make sure that we do everything we can to maximize safety. So yes, they're closed. Please come with your gis on or your Muay Thai shorts on. It's a small price to pay at this point in time, and it's nice outside anyway. Like it's not.
Oh yeah, it's not like we have to dress up after into our long pants and coats and whatever. So
Yeah.
let's enjoy
So I mean, like I'm hoping that we're gonna kind of get people used to all the different implementations. People are still not wearing masks coming to the club. Guys, please wear the masks. Don't make it awkward. What I mean? Like this is something that we're trying to do. We're it's a big recommendation from public health. You can take the masks off once you start training or hit the mats. So don't worry about that. But wear the mask if you can coming into the club, unless you have a medical condition, of course. But that's something that people should be doing. It's the responsible thing to do.
Yeah.
What else were some of the questions, Sonia, that we got?
Well, I had questions about if you can be partners on a bag and the bubbles. I've had a few questions about that. So I think the important thing for that right now is that we're starting with 2 people per social bubble or social circle. And then we have those forms that we're getting everyone to fill out so we can keep track of who's in whose bubble. And it's not really hard. And like, we're going to start with 2. And then as things progress, we can expand that bubble or that social circle. But I think 2 is a great number, especially if you know that the same person's at the same class as you all the time. Like, why not? And same family members, again, same perfect opportunity.
And I we've talked about this, and the way we see it is that we've been given this privilege through our PSO, through combat sports, to be able to work closely and train together within our social bubble, and we don't want anyone to abuse that, and we take it serious in terms of for a lack of a better term, policing that. I mean? So like we want to make sure that people know social distancing. They know that the bubbles include your family, so you can't come to the club and be like, hey, see those 10 people in class, they're all my bubble, so I'm gonna go with all. That's not the way it works.
Yeah.
Like your bubble is, if you have 2 kids, you have your wife, your friend that comes over every weekend, that's your bubble. If you have 1 or 2 spots available, then perfect. You can have like a buddy system at the club. You know what? 90% of the people train twice a week. Say, hey, Sonia, you coming to the club tonight?
You know it.
Right on. Then we can be partners.
Perfect.
And you kind of work that out before you come to the club. So, and it gives everybody a good workout too. So.
Oh, absolutely. And then another question or concern, not concern, but interest point was pads. How we're moving forward with pads. So I think, we agreed that if you wanted to work pads with your partner, you'd have to have your own pair because we can't really lend out anything right now. So we have some for sale at the gym, and if you have your own, that's great. Bring them in, and you guys can work in your zone with the pads.
Yeah, and I mean, think about it, guys. Everyone knows how COVID is spread, or how any virus. And I think moving forward, we'll see, but moving forward, I'm leaning more towards people having their own equipment. I think it's the prudent thing to do as we learn more about these viruses. You don't want to be sharing pads with someone, a set of pads that hundreds of people have used over a 2-year period. When you think about it, it's like, oof, yeah, it's probably better.
I just got a little uneasy in my tummy.
Yeah, and I mean, it's been since the beginning of martial arts training where there's been club pads and stuff like that, and we've always, been pretty good to Lysol them down with the wipes and stuff like that, because we've always wanted to prevent, ringworm from grappling and stuff like that. So, people do grappling and then they go do Muay Thai and not clean the pads. It's disgusting. So we would have people wipe them down to begin with. But I mean, looking back and moving forward, I think it's a good practice. And you know what? It's not that big of an expense. Sometimes people are like, whoa, $150 for pads, and like, okay, cool. Some people pay that much for a hockey stick. So
they last forever. Like
And
the pads last for years, especially if you're not sharing, like especially if it's yours, like they will last you for years and years and years.
yeah, so I mean, like, I'm not
Unless
even,
you have a big kicker in your family that's using the pads, then maybe it'll last a little less longer. He just gave me a little finger gun there in the back. But you know, it's gonna last you a really long time. So it's a good investment.
yeah, 100%. What else is cool? We got the bags coming. I ordered more t-shirts, so
Woo.
that's cool. There's gonna be more t-shirts coming soon. We have some masks coming.
Ooh, that's exciting.
Yeah, we have a few things coming. So, you know, we got some new patches and stuff like that. So it's exciting to, you know, be able to share this with people and stuff. I mean, man,
One
there's
thing
a
that I
lot of
find
things
with
happening.
COVID is that like the sense of community got much stronger.
Oh yeah,
Like
yeah, 100%.
we're all working together towards the same goal, is to be able to train as normal as possible, and helping each other get better and everything. So you know those the light, not the light, like the positives that we take out, like that we talked about a few weeks ago, what, a month ago, whatever.
Yeah.
It's one of those, right? Like one of the positives from all this is a sense of community that we were
Awesome.
able to.
Yeah. And guys, I mean, like, you know, if there's one thing that, you know, you can do to help, you know, recommend us to someone, bring somebody to class, let them try the class, see if they like it. You know,
Share our page on Facebook, like it, comment, share, all that fun stuff.
you know,
Yeah,
we have
check
a
in.
million ways to do that. But I think we've answered most of the questions, eh, Tony?
Yeah, I think so.
Cool. I keep looking at the screen and I feel like, I don't know if it's the lighting or something like that, but I feel like I look dark or greenish type thing.
It's just the lighting, John.
It's just the lighting, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome, guys. Well, I think that's it for now. Sonia,
Yes.
don't slack. Let's get this done next week. We'll have another podcast next week.
Yeah. Okay, John, I'm not the problem here.
So, guys, thanks very much for tuning in. If you have any questions, you know, reach out to either of us at any time. Like I said, stay tuned. Hopefully by the end of the week, we'll have a couple of more bags at both locations. So you'll see our numbers pop up for available spots. Guys, there's nothing that makes us more happy than you guys coming into the club and training, or tuning in with us online. If you can't make the time frame at the club, we'd love to see everybody as much as possible. So guys, stay healthy, keep training, and we hope to see everybody back soon, man.
It's been an absolute pleasure seeing more and more beautiful faces at the gym. So let's keep it going.
100%. Take care, guys. See you soon.
Bye.